Yo, what's up everybody? RevSauce9 back with another video. We're going to be reviewing NXT for 10/8/2024. Now, NXT is good. It's just good. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just good. I like it every week. It's not bad. Tonight you got to see Javon Evans be featured. He's going to be in the triple threat next week. Randy Orton featured him very well. Randy kind of put him over. And Javon Evans, you know what? Got to give him credit. He showed moxie. He showed grit. And honestly, it wasn't a bad match. I actually like the new NXT. But the problem is no picture-to-picture. I kind of complained on Twitter about it. I kind of said, hey, look, there needs to be picture-in-picture during the matches. It just makes no sense. They just cut to commercial, give us tons of commercial, and then we're back. Another thing is some of the camera angles I'm not okay with. It's kind of a little hokey pokey. But for the most part, NXT's great. I don't like the ending of NXT where they have to cut to credits to give credit to everybody. It reminds me too much of like a TV show. Like we're like cutting to like a TV show. Can we just make it like NXT was on the USA Network, where we get good camera angles, picture to picture, and good matches? Because we're getting it. We're getting everything. But a little hokey pokey on some things. Like no picture in picture just blows my fucking mind. But anyway, let's get into this tonight. We had a couple of things. I will say the women's stuff was pretty good. We had Stephanie Vaquer here. We got her introduced. We got Julia looking hot as hell with that leather. I'm not just going to tell you. Julia looks like $1 million. And Julia is starting to cut English promos. She could speak English when she wants to. And I think Stephanie Vaquer could cut some English too. So, you know, tag team match in the future for Halloween Havoc, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez versus Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. I'm all for it. Let's do it. I thought the promo by Roxanne Perez to see, you know, who her next opponent was. She mocked the whole entire women's locker room of NXT. You had Cora Jade come out basically laughing, and they're teaming up. They're doing their thing. I'm cool with that. Now we had Jordan, Jay Cargill, and Bianca Belair defeating Fatal Influence. I could care less for this one. This was kind of the weak point of the night. Was this right here. Katie Jordan, I'm just not a big fan of. Her North American Championship reign has been kind of hokey pokey, actual trash. If you want to have somebody go against her, have Cora Jade go after her and just have her squash her and win the title. Like again, the women's North American title has just not been booked good, and she looks very weak. I didn't really care for this match, to be honest with you. I don't know why you would have this kicking off your beginning of your NXT in St. Louis. Or first match of the night. I just don't get that after you had Jey Uso and Wes Lee, and you had Trick William come out and kind of blow the roof off. You have this. It kind of cools down the arena a little bit that they were in. The factory, I didn't really care for that. Trick Williams and Jey Uso, I'm all for. Whoop that trick, yeet. Whoop that trick, yeet. I'm for it. And Wesley, man, Wesley's coming in on his own as a heel. I like what they're doing with him. You have this going on, and then you have the first match of the night, the women's match. It just kind of just simmered. If you're going to start with hype, kick it off with hype. This should have been in the middle of the show. If you're starting out with Wes Lee and all this blowing off the roof, you should have the Dawn come up next against Emma Fowley. See, again, that should be your lead off to that. You should keep it going hot, not simmer it down. Simmer it down. You're simmering it down, and it's just, to me, you could do a lot better. You could have had Emma Fowley versus the Dawn as number one match. And then I would have Roxanne Perez right after that cut her promo with Jade, and you could still keep that heat going in the pan, keep it sizzling, and you can keep that going. Then you can, if you want to kind of turn it on that medium to low heat, you could kind of just go that women's match, that 6 woman tag match, and you could go that way. But that 6 woman tag match wasn't good. Tony D defeating the North American champion Umu Fale to win the title was perfect. You had the Dawn kind of chasing this for weeks after weeks, months, and finally did it. It was done perfectly. They had a crowbar in the side of the ring. D'Angelo used it. He tossed it out in the ring instead. Close near fall. The Dawn after the Dunn after D'Angelo powerbombs Fale. Then the announce desk, Fale first teases putting D'Angelo through the desk. The Dawn counters him and foreshadows for a finish. And then for the finish, Femi goes for a powerbomb. D'Angelo counters to a sunset flip and a roll-up. D'Angelo holds Femi down for the 1-2-3 count. Great stuff. So they have the shitty women's match, right? Then they have Roxanne Perez come out and they kind of have this thing, and then they get you right into Umu Fale, and bang, Umu Fale and the Dawn should have been number 1. Then you should have right behind it, you should have that women's promo right there for the title, and you should have right then and there, you should have Stephanie Vaquer and Julia holding that title. You keep it hot, you keep it going. That's the thing with NXT, and then no picture-to-picture kind of simmers NXT down a little bit. You got to keep it hot. You got to keep it flowing. You know, CW has picture-to-picture during the college football games. Why can't they have it here with NXT? I don't understand that logic. We're treating it like a game show when it should be a wrestling show. Again, if you didn't know, NXT is now the official only wrestling promotion on CW. CW just fired and canceled NWA. That's why you're seeing NWA on X for the next 5 weeks while they look for a new home. And I don't think NWA is going to get that because Billy Corgan is still to this day, and I want to say this in this recording, Billy Corgan honestly is sticking with tradition with NWA. It's not going to work. NWA needs to get out of these traditions and get with the times. The 80s were the 80s. I get what he's trying to do, but he's got to let it go and just let it be new age shit. You can have retro with new age. So I'm just pointing out what's happening with the CW and NWA real quick in this video. Again, we had the tag team champions, Nathan Frazier, Axiom. They're kind of doubting each other. They had a segment earlier with Randy Orton kind of doubting themselves. They needed to be pumped up a little bit. Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they're still doing this hokey pokey. They're both going against each other, not against each other. It gets A-Town Down Under. Honestly, good match. A-Town Down Under should be featured more like this. They did lose, but they should be featured more. They are good at what they do. They should be featured more. Axiom and Frazier, you know what you're getting with. The fly, the flips. Again, we're just gonna say this. So we'll get into this. So the finishing was the champs Tatum finish, splash, fly by Axiom, followed by a Phoenix splash by Frazier. Frazier covers Theory for a pinfall 1-2-3 to retain their championships. I don't understand this. They show a video package for Rich Holland, and then they get in this big feud, and he's feuding with Chase U, Riley Osborne. Like, Osborne's been featured on TNA for a minute, then not being featured, and then now they're giving him a big push while Andre Chase and his partner are recovering. They're injured. To me, it's a little bit hokey pokey back and forth. So that's just my personal opinion. They had to be pulled apart for a singles match between the two, clearly in the works. And then we get to this music performance with Sexy Red. What are we doing on Monday Night Raw, SmackDowns? And I'm all for hip hop. I am. I'm not dishing on it. I'm just saying it's kind of falls flat when these shows should have a rock theme. I get Triple H. I get the understanding they're trying to go into a different direction. But Triple H, you're a metalhead. Can we get metal back in fucking Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Evanescence, something? Because this hip-hop stuff, man, makes me cringe. Like, I don't need to see Sexy Red dancing her booty and trying to be Lizzo. I don't need that. I want to feel pumped. You're bringing out Javon Evans, or you're doing the things. You got to have these hype up metal things. You have Randy Orton coming out with voices, and then it's like you just had a rap. It doesn't look good. It doesn't. It's there's a disconnect there. And I think they got to do better than that. It was the hype Javon Evans. Again. Ethan Page interrupts Sexy Red's concert. He gets in the ring, cuts a promo. Red is looking for Page's rant and raves. Page says this is his ring and not leaving until he gets a title match with Williams. Javon Evans interrupts Page. Evans confront Page in the ring. Page tries to sucker punch Evans. Evans blocks. Evans punches Page several times. Page clotheslines out of the ring. Evans dances in the ring with Red. It just was so stupid. This is the shit with hip hop that I don't understand. They make the hip hop artists look stupid, and they make the guy they're trying to push look stupid, like clowns. Stop it. I'm over it. Bring me some metal. I don't like this hip hop movement. I know they're doing Carly B for MetLife Stadium next year. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I love these artists, but they're making them look like clowns. And that's not what WWE is about to me. Metal, please bring it. Rock. I'm kind of done when the NFL does it. I'm done with UFC trying to do it. Why are we all pushing this hip hop narrative? It doesn't work. It didn't work before. It's not working now. We need to stop it. Bring me back metal. Go back old school. Limp Bizkit. Do me something, anything but this hip hop craze. I know the casual WWE fan are licking it up. Oh my God, making the Stallion and this person and that person and Lil Wayne and oh my God. I'd rather have Eminem do a theme song for WWE. Would be way better. Honestly. There's the Lil Waynes of the world and there's Eminem's, and I'm just saying I love both of them, but you could tell the quality difference. Randy Orton defeats Javon Evans with an RKO, basically 1, 2, 3. Javon Evans gets some offense, some high-flying moves, but it was mostly Randy Orton into the announce table, out of the announce table, honestly. So I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I'm just keeping it flat out real with you. Javon Evans is good stuff. I like Javon Evans. I think Javon Evans is great. I'm not going to tell you different, but I am going to tell you I am definitely going to tell you that Randy Orton put him over tonight. I'm happy for it. I'm glad for it. All this stuff. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that we do this hokey pokey stuff and it makes Javon Evans look weak. I'm just saying. It just makes Javon Evans look weak. And I'm just quite frankly over it. That's just my personal opinion. I like Javon Evans. I like the fact Randy Orton put him over tonight. I'm cool with it. NXT's got to get better. Again, we need picture to picture. Stop trying to treat it like a game show. I feel sometimes the camera angles and things, it's like a game show. Stop treating it like a game show and actually treat it like a wrestling show, CW. I will complain every week if I do not see picture in picture. It needs to be picture in picture. If you're fucking doing, pardon my language, then you need to be doing the things like wrestling shows. Just saying, pointing it out. Just my personal opinion. Then we have after the match, they literally, Ava basically says that I'm adding Javon Evans into this match, which he earned it, as a triple threat for a number one contender with Wesley and Ethan Page. Again, I think there was a lot of things that were silly on this show. I think it could have been a lot better. I'm not the biggest fan of the CW right now. I get the views are there. I get people are going to watch every week. I get it's amazing for CW, but no picture to picture. And at the very beginning on X, hours prior, they were doing this press conference or this State of the Union DX style. Stop the hokey pokiness. WWE, you're starting to become like your rivals doing hokey pokey stupid shit. Stop doing the hokey pokey stupid shit and focus on putting on good stories with good wrestling. You're kind of losing your way. Kind of, I said the same thing about AEW. They're kind of losing their way too, but you guys are both strafing being different. I'm just saying the show was honestly, to me, a C average show. It was good, but not enough for me to put in that B category this week. Just saying, it's just not enough for me this week to put it in a B category. And I've kind of finishing out AEW this week. And AEW is kind of in that same boat. It's not the best go-home show, but it's a C-average go-home show too. They're just getting to the end of it, and I'm watching it as I'm recording this review. So you're going to get a review here shortly of that uploaded for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. This was a solid 6.75 out of 10. I will see you. I'll have a prediction about Wrestle Dream coming up in the middle of the week for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.